All right, let's just jump right in. Ever stop and wonder how the really mega wealthy manage their money? I'm telling you, it is not what you think. We are about to peel back the layers on this hidden world of finance, a secret system that's built for just one thing, creating a dynasty.
So, to really get what they're doing, you've got to first understand what they're not doing. See, they operate in a world that looks nothing like our own financial reality. It's a world pretty much built on a healthy dose of paranoia, if we're being honest.
And that's rule number one. For them, just dumping all their assets into a regular bank, that's a huge unacceptable risk. I mean, banks can fail, right? They can get tangled up in regulations, or they just don't offer the kind of white glove service this level of wealth really needs.
And it's not just banks they're side-eyeing. They are just as suspicious of governments. And you got to ask, why? Well, think about it. Tax laws, they can change in a heartbeat with a new election. Political chaos in one country could literally vaporize a fortune. So they see governments not as a safety net, but as another big risk factor. So it kind of makes sense, right? If you don't trust the banks and you don't trust the governments, you're definitely not going to use the financial systems they control. The stockbrokers we use, the retirement accounts, the financial advisors we all lean on, for them, that's all completely off the table. They basically just unplugged from the whole system.
And that's the big question, isn't it? If you just unplug from the entire global financial system, what's left? What's the alternative? How in the world do you manage, protect, and grow literally trillions of dollars completely outside the lines? Well, it turns out they just built their own box.
And the answer is something called a family office. Now, this is the part you really got to get. It's not a bank. It's not some hedge fund they hire. No, it's a private company that they own and control. It has one job and one job only: to manage the money, the assets, and the legacy of one single family. Total control. That's the key.
Okay, so what does one of these family offices actually do all day? Its job goes way, way beyond just picking stocks. It's like a financial fortress for the family. So let's take a peek inside. I want you to picture a 360-degree command center that runs a family's entire life. We're not just talking about managing investments. We're talking about handling huge real estate deals, structuring the family's charity work to have the most impact, building these complex legal shields to minimize taxes, and, this is the big one, planning exactly how to pass all of it down to the next generation and the one after that.
And that right there gets to the absolute core of it all. A family office is, at its heart, a defensive weapon. The entire goal is to build financial walls so high and so thick that they can survive anything the world decides to throw at them. Market crashes, political revolutions, messy lawsuits, you name it. It is all about survival.
So we know what it is and what it does, but how does it actually work, like day to day? Well, the best way to get it is to stop thinking of the family's leader as just an investor. You need to start seeing them as the CEO of their own wealth.
And just like any CEO, the first thing they do is hire a C-suite, an executive team. But here is the critical difference. This team, you've got your top lawyers, your sharpest accountants, your investment managers, your risk analysts. They have zero other clients. None. Their entire professional career is dedicated to serving just one family. Their loyalty is absolute because it's not divided.
And that's the whole mindset shift right there. For them, wealth isn't this passive thing that just sits in an account somewhere. No, it's an active enterprise. It has to be managed, directed, and led with a really clear long-term vision. It's a business, and the family's enduring legacy is the product. Which brings us to probably the most important part of this whole explainer. What is the real goal here? Because I promise you, it's not what most people think it is. It's not just about getting richer and richer.
See, for most of us, when we invest, our goal is accumulation, right? We're trying to make more money for retirement or for a down payment. But inside a family office, making money is actually secondary. The number one goal is preservation. First, you lock down what you have. Then, you grow it, but safely. And finally, you make damn sure it can be passed down to the next in line without a hitch.
Yeah, we're talking about the long game here. And I don't mean a 5 or 10-year plan. We are talking about a 100-year plan. Minimum. Every single decision they make gets filtered through one simple question: will this make the family stronger 100 years from now? It's about building a dynasty that's designed to outlive everyone currently in the room. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. Because this isn't just some quirky little habit of a few billionaires. What we're talking about is a massive hidden sector of the global economy.
I mean, the numbers here are just Staggering. The best estimates we have suggest there are over 7,000 of these single-family offices running around the world right now. That is thousands of private, powerful, and almost totally unregulated financial fortresses, all humming along just beneath the surface.
And the sheer amount of money they control it's almost hard to wrap your head around. We're not talking billions here, we are talking trillions of dollars. To put that into perspective, that means a huge chunk of all the world's private wealth is being managed inside this parallel shadow financial system. And the craziest part, most of them, you will never ever hear about them. By their very nature, they are built to be invisible. They don't run ads, they don't slap their logos on stadiums. Why? Because secrecy is their most valuable asset. The most successful family office is the one you didn't even know existed.
So this brings us to the final, most important takeaway. The real secret of the ultra-wealthy isn't some secret stock tip or a magic formula. It is a fundamental, radical shift in how you think. It's about making the choice to stop thinking like an investor and to start thinking like a dynasty.
And that is the real game being played at the very highest levels of wealth. It's not about making a quick profit. It's about building a fortress that's designed to stand for centuries. And now, you know the rules of the game.